Like many developing countries, Rwanda's population is quite young. Over 50% of the population is under 20 years old. This means that there is a great number of youth who were born after the horrendous genocide of 1994. VOA's Edward Rwema spoke with Rwandan youth born after the genocide to understand their personal connection to the genocide and their role as youth and views on the 25th anniversary. Today we hear from 20-year-old Adia Akabibe.
I learned about the genocide against Tutsi, 99 genocide against Tutsi from my parents, from my teachers, instructors, and beside from those people, I learned that from the history, and apart from I being Rwandan, even the world must know it because it's a tragedy which happened in Rwanda that everyone must know. Yeah.
Were you affected by it, or were members of your family affected by it?
Yeah, sure. Because before genocide in '59, my grandparents went to Burundi, and I think I'm not yet affected directly, but I'm affected indirectly because when they are not not all of them has gone to Burundi. Some stayed in Rwanda, but I think that shifting from Rwanda to Burundi, it was a very difficult moment, and they had to undergo through different things which really affected them. And if they affected them, it means they affected me, yes.
Now, you are a young Rwandan, and you know that in every situation that involves conflict, they normally use the youth to put in place or participate in that conflict. So what do you think should be the role of the Rwandan youth right now in protecting or making sure that whatever happened in Rwanda never happens again?
Yeah, thank you. The first role is to take it as our things, it's our history, and it's our Rwanda which we are fighting for. And first of all, if we want to go further, we have to know what happened, to learn what happened, and take risks and take precautions. There are some people who are negativists and they are against Rwanda, and they are talking about they are just acting like nothing happened, though what they're saying didn't happen, and genocide didn't happen. So my role as a youth is to prove that the genocide happened, and for me to prove is to learn first.
Well, to tell us more, viewers, Edward Rwema now joins me live from Kigali. Good evening, Eddie.
Good evening, Vincent. How is Washington?
Good. Now, that is a good, interesting conversation you had with that young lady. Tell us about this generational differences. We have those who lived through the genocide, and then there are those who were born way after. How are they seeing things? How are they observing the 25th anniversary of the genocide?
I would say that when you listen to most of the youth, especially those who were born right after the genocide, they think that they should move on. They are very optimistic about the future that they're trying to build. And they're trying to say that however much the tragedy befell the country of Rwanda, them as the youth, the majority in this country, because they say probably 65% of the population here in Rwanda are youth. So they would rather move forward rather than be dragged by the past of the country. Again, you'll also find another chunk of Rwandan youth whose either parents have not been frank enough to tell them about either their role or what happened in the country, and you find that this other youth thinks the other way. So there's that sharp contrast, but I believe that a majority of them believe that time is now, to move ahead and build their country.
And how does that complicate things, given that there are those you see are still hurting? We have seen some profiles where people are still crying when they remember what happened to them. And then there are those who are saying, let's move on. How does that affect the whole process of reconciliation and unifying of the country and healing?
When talking about the issue of freshness of what happened in Rwanda, I can tell you that that issue is really still fresh here in Rwanda. Just 2 days ago, I visited a village of elders who, just the fact that one of them was telling the story of what happened, they started crying. Some of them went into trauma. So the issue itself is still fresh. The issue of reconciliation, I can say the government has put a lot of emphasis to make sure that Rwandans see themselves in the mirror of Rwandans rather than seeing themselves in the mirror of ethnicity, Hutu, Tutsi, or Twa. So this particular process is helping heal societies. And then when we talk about the issue of Gacaca, which was the traditional court system, it also helped whereby the killers and the victims would meet together and then reach out a compromise and forgive each other. So I would say the progress is good, reconciliation is building, but there's still a long way to go. Like I said, the memories are still fresh in the minds of the people, most of whom lost their beloved ones 25 years ago.
Indeed, what a sad thing it was. Eddie, thank you. Excellent reporting. We expect more from you in the coming days. We appreciate that. Well, that's VOA's Edward Rwema reporting live from Kigali in Rwanda.